Hey guys! This is Cartoon Recapped. Today, we'll show you a 2020 comedy science fiction cartoon called By Me Doraemon 2. Be aware of heavy spoilers. Sit back and enjoy the show. The film opens during the events of the previous movie when Nobita is in the day before his wedding with Shizuka. However, his future self is seemingly distraught. The current Nobita goes into despair after being scolded by his mother for hiding his test papers on his birthday and wonders if he is truly their child. He and Doraemon try out a substitution rope given to them as a trial and tries to hide his test results. After that he suddenly loses consciousness and goes on the time machine, then returns within the same minute wondering what happened. He and Doraemon panic once his mother asks him to go out to do errands and hide it on the shelf, while another Doraemon who is invisible retrieves a gadget. He later finds his old teddy bear given by his grandmother, after which he becomes reminiscent of her demanding they go see her, which Doraemon reluctantly agrees to. During Nobita's past, they then encounter younger versions of the four main human characters, his mother and his still alive grandmother. They unsuccessfully try to tell his younger mother that he is Nobita from 7 years later, but she thinks he's mentally ill and dismisses him. Nobita then runs into his grandmother by chance, and he tearfully reunites with her, and then fulfills her wish of seeing him during his time in primary school. However, her grandmother then wishes to see his future bride and Doraemon has to take out the time TV to view his wedding day, but both of them panic and head to the wedding day once the future versions of John and Sunio joke that he ran away from the wedding. When they get to the wedding day, they go as fast as they can to the venue, while an unknown person exits the toilet near where the time machine is parked. Once they get there, Nobita has to fill in for his future self for the wedding as he simply doesn't show up on time. While filling in for him, he panics when the bride is presented and they have to kiss, doesn't know why only one knife is present to cut the wedding cake, and doesn't know what to give for the speech and has to leave promptly, while John begins singing to fill in the time. Both of them, worried about such turn of events, decide to go find the future Nobita themselves, but are shocked when the machine seemingly disappears after spotting his car near the toilet they parked it in. With no other choice, Doraemon uses the soul time machine and transports Nobita's soul to when he begs Doraemon to hide his results, which works, letting him travel back to the future. Doraemon and Nobita then return his other body to the correct time period after they hit him with a forgetting stick. But Doraemon remembers he needs the pathfinding stick and goes back up to retrieve it, explaining the sequence of events earlier. When he does use the stick, they find that future Nobita traveled back to around the same era as they currently reside in. After they find him sitting on a pipe, he explains why and how he got to this era and laments that he could have been a better person and that he would be happier if Shizuka forgot he existed entirely. Doraemon decides that they could switch places with the switching rope and as such switch places. However, a salesperson also arrives telling them that if they aren't switched back within 1 hour, their memories would be erased permanently. In a state of panic, current Nobita, who is in the future Nobita's body, and Doraemon attempt to find future Nobita, who is in current Nobita's body, but are unable to find him. Future Nobita in the meantime get into a fight with middle school students and rides a scooter passing Shizuka along the way. Both Nobitas start to fade in and out of consciousness, and future Nobita crashes the scooter near the river where he is cornered by the students. While attempting to evade them, he consistently fades in and out of consciousness, but his friends join in and eventually win, scaring the middle schoolers off. Both Nobitas then go unconscious and his friends and Doraemon panic. Doraemon then uses the anywhere door to go to present Nobita's body and manages to switch both of their souls, preventing their memories from being erased. Future Nobita then finally realizes the reason why Shizuka truly likes him and decides it's time to return home, but not before going to the day of his birth. When all three of them arrive, his father just arrives at their current house and panics, not knowing where their baby is, when he is reminded that he is in the hospital, and the group follows him there. After they arrive, the Nobitas look at their just-born self and think it more resembles a monkey, in which their father gets furious and tells them to get out. While overhearing his parents talking, they finally understand why he has such a name, but then are once again chased out after telling their parents they shouldn't have high expectations on him. The three of them return to the hotel where the wedding takes place, encountering past versions of Doraemon and Nobita running out to find the time machine. The present Nobita and Doraemon bid farewell to future Nobita to fulfill a promise, while future Nobita goes back to the wedding. Future Nobita, with all the information he took in, makes a speech referencing all of the things he just experienced. After doing so, he spots his past self and Doraemon with his grandmother, who is crying observing the wedding in a distance. Future Shizuka realizes, wonders why he is looking over there, and he confesses that Doraemon has saved him for one final time. Back during the time his grandmother is alive, she points out the strengths Nobita has, and Nobita bursts into tears listening to her while Doraemon is behind a corner also listening. After this, they finally part ways and go back onto the time machine. On the time machine, Nobita and Doraemon get into a pretend fight, but Nobita is accidentally hit with the forgetting stick they left on it and forgets the majority of the events in the movie. Doraemon, who initially panics, but then decides keeping such would be better, and asks Nobita what he last remembers. When he answers his grandmother wanting to see his bride and wanting to fuel it, Doraemon then says he doesn't need to worry, and Nobita pesters him for why as the film ends. During the end credits, many points of Nobita's past and future life and the events on the current day it takes place in are seen, with the final one showing a frame of him with his grandmother and him with Shizuka. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.